This is part 2 of the video series on phase shift. Maybe go back and watch part 1 if you haven't. Watch it multiple times if you're seeing what's understanding here. I've already got a function that's graphed. We're going to fit out the structure of A times sine of bx plus c, and then that's increased by d. A is amplitude, d is midline. Find those two things first. We want to write the formula for them, so I'm just going to keep a list of what we have. What we have right now is, come on now, there we go. Sorry for that. Pay no attention. The fact is that from our midline to our maximum is the amplitude. So to go from -8 to -1.5, we need to just determine that change. And that'll tell us A. A equals, let's start with max. -1.5, take away the midline. So max minus mid. And calculate that. I need to, let's see, we're going to do it mentally. 6.5. That's our amplitude. Now midline is exactly, it's the y value running exactly through the middle of the graph. And we're already told that that coordinate, -pi, -8, is on the midline. So D for midline, capital letters because I don't know, it stands out more, it's -8. I know 2 of the pieces for my formula, 2 of the pieces that we need to know. Next up, probably the easiest one to find out is actually in this problem, the phase shift. Well, kind of. Okay, so I'm going to mention that we should probably locate C. I'm kind of curious about how we're shifting the sine function to the left by -pi spaces or to the left pi spaces. So maybe it's pi, but something's going to pop up here in a second. I'm going to put a question mark here. Is it pi or is it something else? I'm hedging that it's probably going to be something else. But it's going to rely on the pi to get there. Now, to find, sorry, this is like almost like it's live. You're just watching the live later. B is the frequency, or how much space occurs. How many times do we get complete cycles in 2 pi distance? Well, if we can figure out the period, which is how long one cycle is, then we can figure out the frequency. B is frequency, where we're repeating that cycle in 2 pi spaces. The interesting thing is that from the midline to the maximum, that's only 1/4 of the complete cycle, right? You climb the sine function. Another 1/4 is coming back down to the midline. Then there's 1/4 of the cycle that goes below the midline, and there's 1/4 of the cycle that comes back up. So if you think about sine being cut and quartered, then the first quarter and the second quarter and the third quarter and the fourth quarter are all the same length. So, well, I mean, look over here. I'm going to use my mouse. Maybe my mouse is showing up on the screen. To go from -pi to pi/4, that's just one of these small parts of the complete sine curve. So from -pi to pi/4, that's 1/4. To figure out that distance, let's subtract. Let's do pi/4 minus pi, which, by the way, is 4/4. So that's a -pi, so subtracting. I was curious because I'm going to get a negative answer. I shouldn't get a negative answer. I have 5 pi/4. But there are 4 of them, right? There's this quarter and this quarter and this quarter and this quarter. So because there are 4 quarters, then the entire B period is 5 pi. So in order to figure out the actual value for B, 2 pi divided by 5 pi. Pi's cancel. Okay, so I'm right now able to write down those 3 things. I know A, 6.5. I know D, -8. And I know B, 2/5, because of how the 5's reduced. The part that we don't know is the value of C, and it's not straight up -pi. That's going to be a mistake if you go ahead and follow with that one. The reason is that, yes, we are shifting to the left pi spaces, but that's kind of like an embedded. It's like saying this is what's happening. We have 2/5, and let's, instead of just writing bx, let's write b parentheses x plus c, x plus an unknown value. The truth is 2 times and 2/5 times x and 2/5 times question mark, well, it turns 2/5 question mark into c. The question mark is the shift. The question mark is how much we're moving. The question mark is when we take sine from where it's at on the y-intercept and move it to the left, in this case by pi distance, that the question mark is the motion. This is pi, which makes c 2 pi over 5. Put all 4 of those components in there. Let's see if I can keep them all on the screen. Let me go ahead and acknowledge 2 pi over 5. And I'm going to put all of them together. Let's just see if I get a correct answer. 6.5 sine of 2/5 x plus 2 pi over 5. Notice I'm just typing pi and it auto-corrects it to pi. That's how you spell pi, I guess. Take away 8. That's not take away. There we go. Okay, ready? Fingers crossed. Sure enough, knock on wood. Here we go. Yes. I might do a part 3. I might let you try it. Thanks for watching this video.